are now going to talk about the soil preparation. First, you have to identify the type of soil that you're going to use. Mostly, we recommend that you use virgin forest soil, which is not contaminated. And also, we recommend red soil. And also, you can consider using cotton soil. Black cotton soil, which is not that favorable, but you can use it if you don't have option, because it can retain water, though after some times, if you don't water enough, the soil tend to dry so much and this affect the crops since they cannot be able to handle that dryness. Then we advise that you avoid using clay soil and sand soil, which do not have nutrients that can be able to serve the vegetables well. Another thing we are going to consider about soil preparation is if you decide to use red soil, which is cultivated already, we advise that you do a soil test since you're not sure about the nutrients that are already in the soil. And this will make work easier for you to know exactly the kind of nutrients you're going to put in your soil. Since when you do a soil test, they always recommend and advise the kind of nutrients you're going to add in your soil, depending on what you're going to plant. And also, we recommend that you use well-decomposed manure. Well-decomposed manure is good because when you add it to your soil, your plants are able to get the nutrients immediately. They don't have to wait for that process to complete, the process of decomposing. So it's an advantage if you use a well-decomposed manure, which will serve your plants immediately. So we recommend that you avoid using manure that is not well decomposed, which might take time to provide nutrients in your soil. If you can access virgin forest soil, it's an advantage because you don't need to add anything in your soil. You just do the planting directly because the soil is already rich with nutrients since it has not yet been cultivated. By saying cultivated soil, we mean that soil has been in use for a period of time. And that's why you need a soil test, since maybe the kind of plants that have been used in that soil, maybe they have been using different kind of chemicals, and that's why you need to be sure of the kind of soil that you want to use. Maybe they have never even planted vegetables, and maybe for your case you want to plant vegetables. You don't know the nutrients that are lacking to serve the vegetables in that soil. And that's why we recommend a soil test, which is going to really help for making work easier. And also, if you cannot afford to do a soil test, and maybe you're not sure if your soil has enough nutrients, maybe we can recommend like you add something like DAP, which can add a few nutrients in your soil like nitrogen, phosphorus, or potassium, and other nutrients. And also you can add something like lime, which usually balances the pH of your soil, and that is if you are not sure the kind of soil that you're going to use. Those things are going to boost your soil, and they are going to facilitate some of the nutrients that your plants might end up using. For the kitchen gardens, before you do the planting, you need to mix your soil and the manure on the side. And if you're adding DAP and lime, you do also the same. For the manure and the soil, we always recommend that you do 50-50, ratio 1:1. If you put one bucket of soil, you put another bucket of manure, depending on the type of kitchen garden that you're going to use. Maybe if your garden is using maybe 10 wheelbarrows, the whole of it, we recommend that you use a ratio is 5:5. 5 wheelbarrows of soil and 5 wheelbarrows of the manure. If you're going to add DAP in those 10 wheelbarrows, we recommend that you use 200 grams of DAP per wheelbarrow, And also the same for the lime, use 200 grams. If your garden is smaller than that, you're going to use maybe 1 wheelbarrow or half of wheelbarrow. You can maybe use 100 grams DAP and 100 grams lime. When you do the measurement, you identify the ratios. Maybe if you're using 10 buckets, you measure 5:5, 5 soil, 5 manure. And also the DAP, you measure the amount that you need. You put them all together, and then you can use your tools to do the mixing until everything is mixed up well. And then from there, you will see, as you mix, you see that those things are coming up together. Once your soil is well mixed, like you feel like it's now ready for planting, you can start filling them in your containers where you want to do the planting.